And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I contour my nose. Mine came cracked in half. Look how tiny this is now. Nice. We have a man down. At least this time it's not my middle finger that's got something wrong with it. So this video is probably a little bit late considering it's the 8th of January. But on the previous video that I uploaded, I was still getting loads of requests to do this video. A lot of you wanted me to do a best and worst makeup video of 2019. But to be honest, most of the makeup that has been like my worst makeup of the year, I've actually got rid of. I've either donated it, given it to friends and family, or if it's like really, really bad and like that bad, then I've chucked it in the bin. Please let me know down below. I would love to know if you've either got like one favorite product of 2019 or if you've got 10. I want to know them. I want to see your list because I want to try some new makeup. So please let me know what your favorites were and let's dig into mine. Dig in? Dig in. That's not really the right choice of words. Oh well. Can we also just talk about how good my skin looks today? Also, some of these products you might have seen in my products that I've actually used up video. I'm starting off with a lip balm because that's what I always do before I do anything on my face. My two favourite lip balms of the year, I am always going to love the Lanolips 101 ointment. I use the strawberry one. I've got through so many of these. This one is nearly actually out. But to be honest, I don't use this as much anymore. More recently, I've been using this one by Kiehl's, but this one is like 3 times more expensive. This is the Kiehl's butter mask and it's like in a little pot and I have to use my nail to scoop it out, which is why it's got a load of scoop marks in it. If you've got majorly dry lips, the Lanolips one is everything. But it is a little bit thicker and shinier as well. Also, I realised I went back and watched last year's video and there are a few repeat offenders. So for primer, there are actually 4 that I've been loving and switch out all the time. I'm constantly switching my primers because I've got so many. I'm trying to use them all up, but the ones that I always go back to, the NYX Honeydew Me Up primer, which I mentioned in last year's video, really good, really hydrating. This one by L'Oreal I absolutely love. It's the Infallible Magic Essence Drops. As you can see, I'm literally nearly out of this. Again, super hydrating, kind of just feels like hyaluronic acid on your skin. The NYX Hydro Touch Primer, again, this one is nearly empty, super moisturizing. It's kind of like a gel formula rather than liquid. And then one that actually keeps my makeup on, this again was in last year's video, is the Ofra Cool as a Cucumber Primer. As you can see, I'm almost out of this one as well. I like these two because they leave your skin feeling a little bit tacky. What I do sometimes is I use 2, so I will use this L'Oreal Infallible one to kind of hydrate my skin. Because it's weird, my skin has definitely been a lot more dehydrated this year, but it's also oily. This one again leaves your face like feeling really nice and tacky and it just, it feels so nice. And maybe a bit excessive, but I will then go in with a mattifying one, and this Ofra one is my go-to. Still, I haven't found anything this year that tops this. This is really sad because I can't use this little finger. You know what, I reckon this would actually probably work for dry skin as well, because I know that my friend Talia loves that and I think her skin is more dry. The one that I have to pick this year is the Revlon Colour Stay Foundation. Look how disgusting mine looks. This is in the shade 220 Natural Beige. The reason why this has been my go-to foundation is because this year I discovered fake tan. And this was my kind of go-to daily foundation before that. But when I started tanning, I needed a new shade of foundation because all of mine were way too light. So I went into Superdrug and I was like, okay, which foundation is going to be one that is not going to let me down? Oh yeah, I'm having to dig it out because there's not enough product in here to use the pump with it. Last year, it was all about the Maybelline Superstay, which I still love, but I just haven't got my correct shade in it because the shades that are slightly darker with that one are a little bit too pink for me. So that is the only reason why I don't use that foundation as much anymore. I might buy a few more shades and try and actually find my match, but I was just so happy with the Revlon one. I was kind of like, what's the point? I actually do think this one is a tiny bit light, so I might try and get like the shade down. The only concealer that I can call my favorite is the Too Faced Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. Again, most of the writing has come off the front apart from the black. I use the shades, funnily enough, I use the shade Porcelain. I also use the shade Almond. Porcelain, just a word of warning if you are very fair-skinned, porcelain is not porcelain. It is this colour, which yes is light, but when I don't have fake tan on, this would be too dark for me. And then the shade Almond is just a tiny bit, I don't know, I guess less peachy. This is just my absolute favourite concealer. You know what, I think I'm actually going to say this is my favourite concealer of all time. And again, I think this would work for dry and oily skin. Like, do you see that coverage? A little bit goes a very long way and it just feels so nice on the skin. It looks so nice on the skin. It's just such a good concealer. I think I need to try the foundation because If I like the concealer this much, you would think I would like the foundation. Favourite powder of the year is the Fenty Beauty Butter Powder. The main reason for this is because it doesn't feel like anything on your skin. Also, it smells nice, which I have a feeling kind of draws me to it. Shit, I didn't want to do that. It is messy and it does get everywhere, but I love loose powders and this one just looks so nice on the skin. It kind of smooths your skin out. If you use too much of this, I'm not gonna lie to you, you will get flashback. But if you just do a light layer, I find that it's fine. But to be honest, I very rarely take flash photos. So if I'm going to an event where I know there's going to be flash photos, I maybe just wouldn't use this. And it's lasted me ages and I've still got tons left. Still love the Maybelline one though. For bronzer and blush, nothing has changed. Can you see now with my Kiko one, this used to be a dome and it's actually now, I'm getting there, but there's still so much product left. I still use this Kiko bronzer pretty much every day. Don't get me wrong, there are other bronzers that I like, but this was the Kiko Fall 2.0 collection bronzer. They have re-released this in so many limited collections, but I will rejoice the day that Kiko decide to make one of their marble bronzers permanent, because they've released this in like maybe 5 different collections. It's just my favourite. It's the perfect colour. It's not matte. It's not shimmery. It's just got the tiniest amount of sheen to it. It blends beautifully and I'm in love with it. Oh, and it smells like chocolate. Like, why would I ever want another bronzer? I actually think my base is a bit too light, isn't it? I need a new foundation. If you can get this as part of a new collection, I will link it down below. I will link everything down below. If you can't, I'm really sorry, but just wait until Kiko does a new collection. They'll probably have another one. Again, with blush, boring as ever. Nothing really has changed. The blush that I definitely used the most throughout this year is my Milani Luminoso. However, I have tried new blushes. I haven't used this in a while, but in general, for most of 2019, this was my favourite blush. The only difference is I've started putting blush on my nose now. Something else that is new that I've started doing is contouring my nose. The easiest way that I found to do this, to be fair, I've only started doing this in the last like month or two. Taking one of the brushes that comes with the Benefit powders and using Hoola bronzer. You do get one of these in the like single ones, but I just have the palette. And I've just been reaching for this palette. But yeah, so I just dip both sides of that gently in Hoola, like the tiniest bit. And then I go down either side of my nose because it makes a straight line. And then I just blend it into my eyebrow socket, I guess. Take a tiny bit more, like the tiniest bit, go along the end. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how I contour my nose. Oh, I missed out something. For bronzer, something that I discovered this year that I absolutely love. I wasn't going to use this in this video just because, I mean, well, I forgot, didn't I? But I do want to give a massive mention to the Huda Beauty Tantour. I've got the shade Fair. My only criticism with this is I ordered it from Selfridges and mine came cracked in half. So I had to super glue the lid back together. But this stuff I used pretty much every day in the summer and it's the best cream bronzer that I've ever used. I don't really like cream bronzers, but this one is really nice. You need the tiniest bit and it blends so easily. For highlighter, I'm being completely honest in the fact that the highlighters that I've used most has been my palette with Revolution, but an individual highlighter, which is a high-end one and one that is single and does have a mirror that I have loved as well, is Becca Moonstone. I'm not sure if you can see, this is actually starting to get a little dent in it. It's just such a nice, smooth highlighter and it's a really good one to just like chuck in your makeup bag. I really want to release these in singles, but I'll see what I can do, guys. I'll see what I can do. So I'm just going to mix these two shades together. I always go along my brow bone, my inner corners, and then just down the bridge and the tip of my nose. I have definitely switched up my eyebrows this year. Last year I was using a lot of powder and I was doing them a completely different way. For the majority of this year, I've been using a tinted brow gel. We'll run that through my brows first, then I'll just touch them up with a bit of like pencil. This is the Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I've been through so many of these because I love how skinny it is. Also, it's not too pigmented, but it's not too unpigmented. Do you get what I mean? Two brow gels that I have been loving. I've rediscovered this one in the past couple months. This is the Ico Brow Gel. I think it's in brunette or brown or something. I think they just do one shade. Maybe it's like dark brown. I can't remember. Also, the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. Both these products make your eyebrows look so fluffy and separated and just beautiful. I use this one when my brows are freshly tinted because I don't really need like a tinted brow gel, if you see what I mean. And I will literally just use these two together. It makes my brows look amazing. Today I'm gonna go for the tinted one just because my eyebrows are a little bit faded at the moment. I wore this to the ASOS awards and I was sitting with Imogen from Imagination and she was like, your eyebrows look incredible, they look like they've been microbladed. And she was saying how the hair strokes just looked really defined, and that made me very happy. And I was like, you know what, it's this Ico thing. It is quite a wet formula, so you kind of have to wait for it to dry. Like, do you see what I mean? It just separates them out so nicely. And then I literally just go in with the pencil. This is the shade 3.5 and I just neaten them up a little bit. Add a few extra hair strokes at the front of my eyebrows. And that is kind of it. Also, I have changed my eyebrow shape a little bit recently. I do them a little bit more straight. Of course, I am going to mention my Extra Spice palette with Revolution because I literally made this for myself. Like, I made my favorite eyeshadow palette. To be honest, this year I haven't been wearing crazy amounts of eyeshadow. I've only really been, well, as you can tell, I've been loving cookie dough. I've been just wearing like warm brown matte colors. That's kind of it. But if I am going on like an evening out or something, I will darken it up a little bit and add a little bit of glitter or something. But this is my baby and I will never not have this in my yearly favorites. So I just had to give that a shout out. But two new eyeshadow palettes that I've discovered and will be keeping and love. A neutral one, which is incredible, expensive but incredible, is the Tarte Beauty eyeshadow palette. I did a whole video testing this. The formula of these eyeshadows is one of the best that I've ever used, actually. And if you're looking for a bright eyeshadow palette, a palette that I would highly recommend is the Me, Myself and Mama Mitchell palette with Beauty Bay. This is more affordable. The only bit that I'm not too keen on, I'm not gonna lie, is the mirror in the middle because it kind of like falls all over the place, like when you try and open the palette up and then it falls out. But oh my god, the colour selection in here is gorgeous. The pigmentation of these is gorgeous. They perform so nicely. If you're into your colourful eyeshadows, I would highly recommend this eyeshadow palette because they are very bright, they're gorgeous, and yeah, I think he's done a great job. Okay, it's kind of staining my fingers. Mitchell has done amazing this year because another thing that has made it into my favourites, I've just realised, is another one of his collabs with Beauty Bay. This is the Mama Mitchell eyeliner glitter topper in the shade Medal. This is just so stunning. And I've just been using this as like an eyeshadow really. So I'm just going to do my go-to look. I'm starting with cookie dough. Gonna run that through my crease. Okay, maybe that was a bit much. And then taking some of the shade Cheesecake, which is a slightly darker brown, which is kind of like a reddy brown. And I'm just adding that into my outer corner and through my crease. To be honest, just due to laziness, I usually just use the same brush. I'm taking some of Brownies, which is the darkest brown in the palette. There is a black as well, but I prefer to use a little bit of dark brown. And I'm just putting this on the outer corners. Then I'm just taking those same shades onto my lower lash line. Since I followed Kim Kardashian's makeup tutorial, I've started bringing my lower lash line eyeshadow a little bit further in. Okay, that was a little bit too much though. And then I'm taking Brownies, bringing that about halfway across. And this is the point where I'll go in with my Mama Mitchell glitter liner thingy and just, oh my god, just paint that on my lid. And then honestly, just use my finger to kind of blend that out. And then I usually add another layer because that does kind of disperse it quite a bit. Then for liner, my favourite one has still been the IT Cosmetics Superhero Liner. Just because it's the easiest to use in my opinion. It's super black and it's super waterproof. And then for mascara, the one that I've used the most of this year and got through quite a few of these tubes is the Revolution Mascara Revolution. I know that some people hate this because they think it's too clumpy, but I personally get on so well with it. It works really well with my lashes and just makes them super thick, super long, kind of clumpy but in a good way, like it clumps them together and makes them look really like wispy. Then just before I do my lashes, I'm going to do my lips. I've got a couple of lip options this year, but I'm mostly going to go with one that I wore all the time. Obviously, I'm still obsessed with my own lipsticks with Revolution. I've actually been through a whole tube of Cake this year, which is this colour right here. This is my new one. Well, kind of new. It's kind of getting a bit small again. It's just such a perfect nude colour. I've got 3 different colours, but I love this, obviously, as always. So I started wearing lip liner and lip balm I think it was like towards the end of 2018. These 2 lip liners have got really small this year. This one is the What even is this? All the writing's rubbed off. Rimmel London lip pencil in tiramisu. Look how tiny this is now. So actually, that is going to be my lip liner of today. Such a great formula and such a great, like, My Lips But Better colour. And then the other one that's got really tiny is the Milani Colour Statement Lip Liner True Instant Colour Lip Pencil in 04 All Natural. And then I was using this from NARS, which again was in my video the other week of products that I've used up. This was the Afterglow Lip Balm in Hidden Pleasure, which is now gone. Okay, there is the tiniest bit of this here to blend it together, but the one that I've been using to replace that, because I also had this one, is the shade Sex Symbol, so I'm going to use a bit of this today as well. It's just like a tinted lip balm, and then I would just put that all over and then blend it with my lip liner, and that is my lips done. It feels so moisturizing. And then the final step is lashes. Lashes, which I continue to love into 2019 and into 2020. The Bubble Pop lashes by Unicorn Cosmetics. I think I've got a discount code with them for their website, which is... it's either SOF10 or it's just SOF. I'll find out and I'll put it on the screen. My other box is just covered in other pairs of eyelashes. Nice! I thought I'd treat myself for the new year and wear a new pair. I might have to trim them a little bit. Yep. Oh, I should have done my trick where I paint the lash glue onto my eyeline. I'm going to put these on and then I'll be right back because this is going to take me a while. So I'm back. The lashes are on. As you can see, they are pretty dramatic. I do also actually love the way that they make my eyes look, but most of the time I just find that my eyes get too irritated by lashes. And usually I don't even have time to put them on because I'm running out the door with my makeup like half done. So here is a close-up of everything. So like I said, please leave down below your favourite makeup of 2019 because I would love to know. Today's question of the day comes from Hannah Louise and she said, what were your New Year's resolutions? I hope you're having a good one so far. I love you. Thank you so much. That's very sweet. I hope you're having a good one so far too. So I want to learn to say no to things that I don't want to do more and be more comfortable with it, because there are so many times where I will say yes to something that I don't particularly want to do just because I'm scared of how the other person will react, and if I say no that they'll like be annoyed at me. So even though I don't want to do something or like go to something, I'll be like, okay, yeah, I guess I can do that. And then it gets to the day and I'm like, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. Another thing is I want to do more hobbies because I feel like YouTube used to be my hobby and makeup used to be my hobby, and then it kind of turned into my job, and now I feel like I just spend a lot of my time doing one thing, and I want to try and find some more ways to kind of wind down and take care of myself and spend more time with myself and for myself and kind of prioritize myself and my own mental health a bit more. So I want to get back into gaming because I used to love gaming when I was like 15, 16, and then when it got to exams I kind of just gave it up completely. And yeah, I guess just I want to go into this year being fully honest with myself and other people, and you know, like that kind of relates back to the saying no to stuff thing. Like I just want to be like completely myself and not be afraid to like speak up, I guess, and speak my mind, and just like grow and learn to love myself more, I guess, is a good one. Yeah, I've got quite a few things. Basically this year in 2020 I want to really work on myself and my happiness. Not that I'm not happy, but yeah, hopefully you kind of get what I mean. Also, if you guys have any New Year's resolutions that you want to share, please leave them down below as well. If you're new here and you like this video and you like my face and you want to subscribe, that would be great. I'd love to have you. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.